Hello everyone and welcome back to the Sports Trigger. Today we're going to be discussing a little preseason overhype with a few games out of the way. Travis, are you ready to get started?
Boy, am I ready.
Hello everyone, and now that we have a few preseason NFL games under our belt, we obviously start the overhype train, which, after one preseason game just seems a little bit like it's right on the money, right? I mean, one preseason game, first game, might as well start the championship talk, right, Travis?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and let's start out with the big one is Mr. Mitch over at the Bears, Trubisky, and how everybody says that, he's the Bears' savior now.
Now, yeah, the one thing that I try not to watch is preseason, or at least I try not watching the first two games, I would say, because obviously the starters get more playing time come the third preseason game. But, of course, Mitch Trubisky, there's a lot of, speculation once the Bears traded up to get that pick to pick him up. And, obviously he did pretty well. He had good stats, but granted, it's not against starters. It's not for a long duration of the game. And, it's the Bears. And nothing against Trubisky. I have nothing against him. He had a good one full season of college football under his belt, but, slow your roll a little bit, fans, especially Bear fans. We know they have plenty of agony coming their way with the Jay Cutler era, even though that's out, but, just slow your roll. It's only one game in.
Yeah, well, they have a whole new controversy coming in since they signed, who was it, Aguayo, right? And so now they're going to be challenging him and Connor Barth for the kicking game, right? I'm pretty sure that the Bears actually signed him on.
Yeah,
so they have that whole controversy, get rid of Cutler, bring on this other controversy. It's, whenever somebody gets cut from the Hard Knocks, they always end up somewhere else somehow. But yeah, I don't get it. Trubisky, yeah, he had a decent preseason game, and you look at his stats and everything. He's not going against full starters on another team. But the problem is, I kind of get the hype because you're going from flat-footed Glennon, who looked just absolutely awful. And then
Terrible.
He steps in,
Yeah.
So you can always go up. And, and he actually performed well. So now everybody's like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl, right? Like, it's the Bears. He's the savior. So, you always have a few quarterbacks that get that hype early. Another one is down in Houston. You got Deshaun there. Deshaun Watson. And everybody's like, Deshaun Watson, you got to let him loose. He's going to take you to the Super Bowl now. Oh, what do you think about him so far?
I put him in the same boat as Trubisky, obviously, you're going from not knowing what to expect as far as how they're going to fare in the NFL. And, obviously they're playing against NFL players. So it's impressive what they've done. But if you're going to get into the preseason hype, you might as well throw Blaine Gabbert in there too, after his first, game with Arizona Cardinals, he did really well. And, I mean, why not throw his name out there? So just slow your roll, everybody. But as far as Deshaun Watson and Mitch Trubisky go, I definitely put them on a level playing field as far as it was impressive what they did, but you shouldn't buy too much into it.
Yeah, I'm more like, give me, a few games in the regular season. At least, Garoppolo from New England, he went out and had a great preseason game, but he's done it in the regular season too. So it's like, that's not overhype. He's actually gone out there and done it in the season. He's won games. So, all right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like when people get excited and juiced about something he did, okay, I'll buy into that. The other one is, and I think this is kind of funny, is Fournette. He had a decent game. I watched some footage. He was plowing over some defenders, big guy, scored a touchdown. And then afterwards, disclaimer here, if you really truly read into his comments, he wasn't saying the NFL is easy. He's saying the transition was easier because he played in the SEC. But just the fact, a little bit of hype for Fournette there because he's thinking that everything's easy so far.
I would buy into hype for Fournette more so than the two QBs, just because, I do agree with him. It does seem like the transition's easier. He was in the SEC. He's going to be the starting running back, or he'll be up for the starting running back role. And, it seemed like he fit pretty well. I didn't see too much of his playing, but I saw clips, and, I would definitely put him above Trubisky, Watson, or really any other quarterback for that matter.
Yeah, I think in terms of like hype right now for how their NFL career is going to play out, I'd probably put Fournette at number 1. Like, okay, he has all the tools. He's huge. Mm-hmm. He can plow defenders. He's got decent speed too to be a good running back. We'll see, like, cutting ability. I don't know. Like, I'm not completely sold on him there, running a little side to side, but he won't need to if he's just running downhill. And Jacksonville, if that offense can get it together, they could have a pretty good offense as well. I'd put Deshaun second because honestly, yeah, if he became the quarterback and he was halfway decent with that defense, they probably would have a decent shot at making it pretty far in the playoffs without him needing to do too much.
Right.
Trubisky, though, I mean, he's playing for the Bears. The Bears aren't going to be that good this year, let's be honest. So any type of hype there, it's probably going to be drowned out by sorrow this year if he is the starter.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have Jordan Howard there. That's probably the lone bright spot that you have on that team, at least offensively. And one more point to the quarterback, running back comparison. I think that most would agree that it's a lot easier to transition for running backs, as far as, having solid games, giving good output, versus quarterbacks, because there's a lot more to learn, and you're running the whole offense for that matter.
Right, yeah, I mean, you can go in there and they can teach you, a dive only so many ways, or an ISO, or an off tackle, and as long as you're not picking up pass protection, that gets a little more complicated. Well, a lot more complicated than just getting the ball and running. So, with that being said, guys, thanks a lot for joining us on another episode at the Sports Trigger, and until next time.